Okay, I got 20 questions.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah,
God, I don't even know my name. How can I get
you
answer
got
questions?
19 left.
I like the way you started. Okay, ready?
George Allen Newell, and the George was for my grandfather, George Newell. I was born in Spokane. I grew up in Valley, Washington.
Just up north here.
Okay.
It was just about 50 miles from here. At that time, there was no television. This was a place where you went from house to house and played games, board games usually, like Monopoly. They were hardworking. They didn't have much, but didn't seem to bother them. They were happy, and we were never hungry. My dad was a good, hardworking man, and I helped him. He taught me a lot. When he was such a good-hearted guy.
He was a good guy.
He'd do anything for anyone.
Mhm.
And then up to Salmo, British Columbia, and that's where I met Grandma. And here came these three gals up to me and said, "Can we join you?"
We didn't have any money, probably.
And she's the one that sat next to me and kind of attached herself to me.
Attached. Do you like it?
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind?
Yes, and I was sitting between two crying ladies.
Was one of them Grandma?
Grandma was one of them, and her sister was the other one. I had proposed to Betty, and she said to me, "You have to ask my mother."
My dad.
Her dad. And her dad had a very bad temper. So I drove my car out into their lane, and it was really deep ruts. And when I got up to the house, I said to him, I said, "I think I knocked something loose underneath this car. Will you take a look?" And when he crawled underneath, so I knew that I could get away, I said, "Betty and I would like to
remember
get
that.
married."
I remember that too. Oh God. We had a good life though, you know.
What did he do? What did he do?
He said, "You've got to ask your mom."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sure. Crazy. Eh?
But he didn't come rolling out to pound on me anyway.
That's a good story.
And I was on active duty for 3 years. I was on weekend a month duty for 7. So I had actually 10 years of active duty in the Navy. And then I went to work on the railroad and moved to a lot of different places, but basically kept my home in Spokane. But I went to other work locations on 2-week periods, that type of thing. My job on the railroad was very rewarding. It was a good job. I had good insurance. I wasn't worried about feeding my family, and it was something that I enjoyed doing. And this woodwork was also something that I enjoyed doing. And when I saw one of these, I just was inspired to make them. And so I thought about the kids and made them. The day Pat was born.
Why?
Because I had a son that was right there for me. And it was so important. And Betty was okay, and I was so proud. Pat was born in Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
Dale was born in Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce was born in Rockaway Beach, New York, which is Queens. 1955, Betty and I had just been married a year, and I had a son. And behind their house was a
I'm my mom and dad's house.
pond called Achilles Pond. And I wrote this book for Patrick. Moved back to Spokane, and from there to Havre. My favorite place, I like Kansas City. I liked it really well. Oh, I had so many experiences. The vigil ceremony in the Order of the Arrow was very special. And where you sat all night and kept the fire going and thought about turned your thoughts inward, and it was very special because I had all three of my sons there.
That was big time, wasn't it?
Practice and practice to do the flag ceremony for his rank, and when he got finished, instead of dismissed, he said dismissed.
Yep, I remember that too.
And broke it up. It was good. I enjoyed my sons. It was nice to be able to sit down and talk to them. And my scouting with them kept me acquainted with them, and so I could discuss things with them. It's like your dad. When he first come home from college, he was all up on this. I can't think of what the name of this religion was, but it was this goofy one. And I plucked him down on the couch and I said, I've known you for your whole life and you've known this bird for a couple of months. I said, now who are you going to believe, him or me? I'd forgotten all about him for years until you were moving out of Havre, and here sat this ball on your dresser. And you actually thought that they had caught a foul ball.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that was something special because those balls don't come out of the pitcher signed by a whole team. It's a grand old flag. And Betty's kind of kept me on the straight path. You know, when my kids were small, I used to go hunting on Sundays. And one Sunday she told me, she said, you better start going to church and teaching your sons the right things to do. So that was it.
Well, thank you, Grandpa. I want to give you a hug. Thank you. I love you. I love you very much. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing that with me.